Black Ops 7 is less than a week away at this point, which feels incredibly odd to consider, but we've been insanely busy with other stuff here on the channel that this isn't necessarily like breaking news or information we're talking about today, but I want to fill you in on some recent reveals and details that I've found actually kind of rather surprising, as well as have a general discussion ahead of the launch here later next week. So drop your thoughts as we go along, drop a like if you enjoy the video, and make sure to subscribe for more FPS content, including the Black Ops 7 launch content, but also continued coverage of things like Arc Raiders, RedSec, Battlefield 6, and even more. I'd love to have in the communities we chase down 700,000 subscribers together, but for now, let's get into it. So up front, I want to talk a little bit about some recent dev talk details that we got. Treyarch's actually been pretty solid in terms of these dev talks the last couple of months, and in a now deleted portion of a blog, they detailed that there was one coming also for Endgame on Monday, so we're going to see another one here soon, but recently they talked about progression details and stuff that comes along with that, where some of the top level things we got out of this was weapon leveling, where they said it was going to be faster than what we saw in the beta and faster than what we saw in Black Ops 6, which is nice to hear because when you look at each of the weapons you have in the game with a detailed talking about weapons in that blog post, you can end up seeing that we have weapons that range anywhere from the low to mid to high 40s in weapon levels. But then you also have to consider they're putting weapon prestiges back in this game, so trying to incentivize you to do that whole system all over again. So it's this really tough thing of what makes it a grind versus what makes it rewarding, but yet also isn't too slow. Like, how do you balance that all together? So right now, I think that leveling maybe could be adjusted still in the future, but we also don't know what the launch version will look like just yet, that it is going to be better than what we saw previously. So curious to see how this feels whenever we actually jump into the game. They talked about overclock earn rates being a bit more consistent. They talked a little bit about mastery camos here. Of course, we know that Black Ops 7 is going to have 4 mastery camos per mode, with 4 modes that you can earn it in for the first time in Black Ops 7, that being campaign, multiplayer, zombies, and then Warzone when that integration finally comes around with Season 1. So that's a lot of stuff to end up working towards if you're a completionist or you're a camo grinder. But the nice part is that gone are the days of the ultimate mastery challenge. You'll still once again do all your 3 levels of challenges, weapon, class, and all weapon challenges, and then this time around you'll again get your overall weapon camo once completed with that 3rd tier of challenge here. So still an added step to compared to like Black Ops 3 where you had gold, diamond, and dark matter, but with 4 camos rather than 3, that's where you'll see that difference. You don't have to do a dark matter level challenge within each of the modes that you end up playing in. You don't have to unlock that final mastery camo individually, which is definitely nice, I think. Personally, I'm a big fan of this change. I remember talking with Lawrence Menton about this exact thing extensively for a good while a few months ago when I was out at Treyarch, where they mentioned they were still up in the air on that decision. But personally speaking, I find it to be way more rewarding of a feeling when you grind out those first 3 levels of the mastery camos, and then you finally get to that final weapon, and then you unlock it, and then you see that pop up for everything at that overarching ultimate mastery level here with this, instead of having to do it individually. So big fan that we won't have to do that again within Black Ops 7. They did mention that we'd see some secret camos. They said no details, secrets are secrets. But as a camo lover, as a challenge lover, and more specifically with the Black Ops games, hidden challenge lover, i.e. Dark Ops and anything this may entail, you can sign me up for that one. I'm curious what this will be. There's a part of me that wonders if this is going to be like an ultimate grand mastery camo. Like if you complete the dark matter equivalent level of camos across all campaign, multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone, if there's another one that's hidden there at the end for you that's ultra exclusive, or if it's just going to be something that's like there's hidden Dark Ops challenges pertaining to mastery camos in a sense where you can end up getting secret camos that aren't necessarily laid out in front of you. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but I always do love the camo grinds with Call of Duty every year, so looking forward to seeing how that works. They talked a little bit about mastery badges, where honestly I actually kind of like the mastery badges in Black Ops 6. I know they're like more so secondary items, tertiary items maybe for people, but it was an added extra flair of things for completionists to go for. But they mentioned they're adding even more for those who decide to go and complete everything badge wise, so kind of looking like an ultimate mastery badge of some kind. Those that complete all like diamond badges for multiplayer, whether it be all your weapons, you get an ultimate mastery badge there. You complete all of your field upgrade mastery badges, you get another one there. We'll have to wait and see, but it kind of sounds like that is what they were alluding to. Dark Ops is of course confirmed to returning, though honestly it wouldn't be a Black Ops game if that wouldn't be the case. Personally, also really looking forward to these challenges and making guides on that as well. Challenge tracking, they detail that there's going to be 3 camos and 3 calling cards right up front in that initial widget that you have on your menu, but you can scroll through that to see even more. They detail there's remastered Black Ops 2 rewards coming through the challenge systems, skins and blueprint rewards for prestige, just like Black Ops 6 are coming, so every single prestige you'll get some sort of reward alongside that. They debuted the Season 1 operator skin and blueprint, taking after some Black Ops 2 themes, a bit more muted though, and not necessarily something that's over the top, more so just looking like a semi-futuristic Spec Ops soldier of sorts, which I'm all for. They talked about Master Prestige customization coming within Black Ops 7 as well, where you're going to have title and level color available to be customizable once you reach certain Prestige Master levels and milestones. Challenges being granted for unlocks for special custom titles, and changing your level color will be something you'd rank up through different milestones through Prestige Master leveling. So similar to how you saw some of those maybe modders back in the day of like COD 4 through Black Ops 2, Ghosts and all that kind of stuff, that you'd see those color changing levels and titles and all that. You're going to have that ability here within Black Ops 7 organically, which is pretty cool. If you're trying to build a game that's built off of Black Ops 2 nostalgia, I mean, that's a great way to do that. Throwback to all the JTAG modding and stuff like that. But anyways, that is what they detailed recently with Black Ops 7, but I want to talk a little bit about some general observations here at this. And this is where we get a little bit subjective here with this and a little bit more so opinionated. So if you just wanted the information about the game, totally cool if you want to click off the video here. But me, gonna yap a little bit here. I think right now we're seeing a lot of the right choices being made with this game. And yes, you're absolutely right in saying it's the Battlefield effect, or more accurately, I would say it's just the competition effect. By comparison to prior COD games, this has absolutely garnered much less excitement, whether it be due to general COD or just Black Ops fatigue with this being another year or two, and or a million other reasons you could probably have personally with this game. Like, dude, I feel it. I'm right there with you. I'm burnt out. Like I mentioned, I'm not necessarily feeling overly ecstatic about there being COD launch within this next week. I love how much fun I've been having in gaming this past month or so here with multiple different game launches, that another one on top of it is just like, wow, we got another one? But I think it's the first time in a while a studio's really kind of had like the chance to have a blank check in a sense, where they're like, okay, make whatever changes you need. The COD leadership team, Activision or Microsoft teams aren't going to really step in the way of trying to make something that appeals to fans in what you can market to this game and trying to keep players. I know the general reception to this is, why praise anyone for finally giving what we've asked for years? And to a degree, I absolutely do agree with that sentiment. I don't necessarily think it's direct praise we're giving Treyarch or Call of Duty as a brand, but from my perspective, it's more of like, I'm just happy that we're finally seeing these things this year. Even if it's a fleeting feeling limited to just the launch window and maybe something changes with Season 1 and beyond. But more so, it's not me praising any one company or decision like that, but more of like, finally, after so long, whether it's relief, vindication that we did see something that could work here in the future that would make people happy. I'm not entirely sure what that feeling is, but personally speaking, I'm just happy that these changes are finally being made, because it has been something we've asked for so long. Not that it's taken so long, like I don't really care to give praise of like, yeah, good job guys, you finally gave it to us, but it's more of like, oh my god, we finally defeated that boss battle after so long of constantly trying to chip away at it. Things like classic matchmaking, no disbanding lobbies, that stuff being there on day one with a more centralized focus on cosmetic cohesion and actual design strategy. I like that kind of stuff. But like, that kind of stuff is what we've been wanting for all along. That yes, it kind of took another shooter to come in and kind of threaten that stranglehold over the market for these changes to be made. But like, I'm just happy we finally have a game that can feel classic in that sense again. And with it being something built off the bones of Black Ops 2, my personal favorite Call of Duty in the entire franchise, I like that. I wasn't 100% sure on where I wanted to put this part of the video, whether it be at the beginning, but figured let's talk about the actual just raw information before and let you guys make your own opinionated decisions on that versus talking about my own thoughts up front. But like I said in the intro, it feels kind of like incredibly weird to be where we're at right now, where I feel so normal, nonchalant, like indifferent about a launch that's coming up in less than a week. I'm not sure if that's the best way to describe it, but like, I don't recall a COD launch in recent history where I've been so, I don't know if it's like to say singularly unfocused on that, but if anything, I think that's kind of a testament to the strength of other things in the market and in the gaming space right now. Not necessarily solely knocking at the upcoming offering, but I'm going to be blunt. I think the core gameplay, forget Season 1 and beyond, forget future inevitable monetization, forget whatever will come down the line, the core gameplay I think has a solid chance and offering this year. I don't necessarily care for the wall bouncing and stuff, but like just like Black Ops 6, I have zero issues and can acknowledge that I enjoyed the base of that game. Whatever came after, I mean, But same with Black Ops 7. Objectively, they've done so much more than years prior at implementing feedback, and honestly in a much more condensed time frame too. Like Modern Warfare 3, I think, is the most comparable game to this that we can draw parallels to, where it's another year 2 situation, another correcting the mistakes of the year prior situation. But we also don't have a lot of examples of that being one-to-one in the franchise, but we saw Modern Warfare 3 being marketed on those changes. We've seen these changes be reactionary to feedback and everything that we've seen in the last just month and a half to 2 months, which is cool to see. I think with all of that stuff in mind, with the knowledge of they're wanting to compete and they're wanting to stay on top per se, that we're going to see a foundationally solid game with Black Ops 7. Perhaps one that even launches into a stellar post-launch year if they can keep up what their plans and aspirations appear to be. They've already indicated they've got a huge roadmap and are leaving nothing to be left over, leading into that sort of generational shift with Modern Warfare 4 next year. So I think that while there's plenty of jaded people out there, rightfully so, like, do not get me wrong, I totally understand if you do not give a shit about this game. It is totally cool. Play whatever game you want to play, what makes you happy. That's what gaming should be about.
No, it's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
But I think for those that stick around and are still interested in Black Ops 7, I think that they're likely going to have a solid time this year, or at least I'm hoping so. I think this has the potential for how much they recognize they have to do for their player base, that this has the potential to be another Modern Warfare 3 situation, where the game got criticized heavily leading to the launch, but then was generally enjoyed by the community at large. So we're going to have the usual launch content slate upcoming this week, maybe some double uploads mixed in there, because I still have a ton of stuff that I want to talk about when it comes to Arc Raiders, Battlefield, RedSec, and all. And right up front, that is not going anywhere. Like that stuff, I still very much so plan to talk about all of those games that if Black Ops 7 isn't your cup of tea, we still got something for you elsewhere. But after 12 years of covering COD titles and not necessarily feeling entirely detached just yet, I mean, I built this channel on only COD for over 500,000 people. So people are interested, and frankly, it's something that I still do enjoy having fun with every time in October or November comes around. And then we'll go from there after that initial launch window, but we're gonna be covering it from, I think our calendar is like Monday through the next week or two on a daily, if not near daily basis. So that'll be coming up here, and then we'll have our regular rotation of content, possibly covering all three and even more of Arc Raiders, RedSec, Battlefield 6, Black Ops 7, and anything else like that. So my hope is that we have a good set of games to play around with and enjoy and make content on, that there's not going to be burnout or fatigue anywhere else, and that if one of those games is not your jam, that's totally cool. But I'm looking forward to having a variety of games to cover. So let's not go after anybody for enjoying something they might like. Let's keep everything civil and fun. I mean, after all, again, it's just video games. Things don't need to be that deep or frustrating. Like and engage with what you enjoy. But for now, that's going to wrap it up. Let me know your thoughts down below. Are you guys looking forward to anything with Black Ops 7 it may have to offer? You're going to wait for a sale and then check it out? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor, drop a like on it. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Black Ops 7 with the launch upcoming here. Arc Raiders, RedSec, Battlefield 6, and plenty more FPS content. We have so much up on deck that I'm so excited to share with you guys all. So love to have you in the community, but for now, thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. Take care, and peace.